Joining me in the room podcast for the first time, coming off a grinding unanimous decision win at Cage Titan 61, is Phil Bambino Locigno. What's up, my man? Welcome to the show for the first time. We've been chatting for over a year, and finally on the show, my man. Awesome to have you on.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here. It's been a long time coming. I remember seeing you on my debut, and I told you I'm going to talk to you in the back, and unfortunately, I lost the decision on that one. But we finally made it.
You definitely did, my man. 3-3 now. Won 3 of your last 4 fights, 2 finishes in them, 3 wins, my man. But dude, there's a lot to talk about. But you know that win last week, your career so far. But also news today, you won that Combat FC most popular vote competition for the fighters in New England, amateurs, pros. My guy, you came out of the woodwork. I mean, I've been seeing some fighters put it on there, vote for me, do this, do that. But I haven't seen Phil, man. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, Phil gets the $1,000 today, man. My man. Did you have the whole Italian crew in Boston call up? What you know? Did you think you were in the run-ins? How'd this happen, my man?
Yeah, I work in the laborers union, so I got a lot of support from them. My mom's my biggest fan, so she was posting religiously. Obviously, friends at the gym, and I was just blown away as you. So when I actually got that, I was shocked and very humbled and grateful. Lunches on me.
Well, let me just tell you, my man, second place was Andrew Valdina. Third place was a UFC veteran in Don Shanis. And you at 3-3 as an amateur says a lot about you, bro. So congratulations on that, my man. You know, how do you celebrate? Would you say dinner's on me, drinks are on me? How you do that?
Yeah, lunch and dinner's on me, you know, so let me know.
All right, my man, congratulations. And I'm sure people will be jumping on that. And once, you know, it's all around, man. I think the news came out today. When did you actually find out? Today, or did you know earlier?
When I got home from work, because I leave my phone in my truck when I'm working. And as soon as I got in the truck to go home, I saw it. I was like, oh, snap, I actually fucking won. And yeah, I was, like I said, I'm very humble and very grateful. But it's not even about winning that cash prize, just the fact that people support me and voted for me over, you know, 2 other great fighters, Andrew Valdina and Don Shanis. It means a lot to me.
Well, that not just Don Shanis and Andrew Valdina. You had Connor Matthews. You had fighters all over the place that were entered in this, man. So that's a big accomplishment. Before we get to that fight, less than a couple of weeks past, let's get to this career, my man. You know, you started your career, I think, in 2021, November 2021. Coming up on your second year anniversary here, I do believe, man. 6 fights in that. Grinding fights, couple of decision losses there, man. How you feeling about that career overall up until this point?
Yeah, it's hard to answer that because a couple of those decision losses with Kasky and the split with Danny Wahlberg, you know, I was obviously upset about it. But you know what? I took it as a learning lesson because each loss and each win always has a lessons, but obviously you learn more from the losses. So I just took those and you know, went to the game plan and just got better overall as a fighter. So I think I needed to have that rough start to really motivate me instead of like having everything come easy and then when I do hit the big time stage and it all comes crashing down. So I'm actually enjoying the way that my journey is going.
Well, my friend, you know, started your career, you know, 0-2, but taking on tough dudes there in decision losses. Come back with a big win and finish, and then you go against another huge prospect who's just coming off his own win on the same card.
Yeah,
And
my boy Danny Jefferson.
yeah, Danny Jefferson. He mentioned you on our interview last week, man. So you guys became friends, I would imagine, after that grinding fight, right?
Yeah, we became friends also out of Broadway is Tim Melvin and Tyler Wolf. Become very friendly with them, and I look forward to training with them.
Excellent. Well, after that fight, man, 2 wins in a row. Um, Another finish in there, and this last fight against a veteran in there who takes on tough opponents in himself and Xavier Cardona, man. Let's talk about that fight. It's was your sixth fight for Cage Titans, all fights for Cage Titans. Anything change in there? What was the feeling in there, and what'd you feel about the overall fight that night?
I was actually surprised in Cardona's game. Obviously, as you said, he's a tough dude. He comes out there guns blazing, swinging. So he started off a little bit like that, but more technical than I thought. Usually, from what I've watched in the tape, shots, every combination, wide left hook, a wide right hook. Came up with a kick straight up the middle, and the right hand. I was like, "Shit." And then I had to readjust, and then he tried grappling me. So I'm like, okay, what I've been working on, thanks to Danny Jefferson, that exploited that. So I felt real comfortable as soon as he grabbed me. I had to cut weight, and I know I had the weight advantage. When we went to the cage, took him down, and I knew exactly he was going to go for that guillotine because when he fought Brian Costco back in 2019, I believe, he got him with that guillotine, and I knew that was coming. I worked on that defense, fight the hands, make sure you cross the body, good out of that, and yeah, the victory. I do wish that I got the finish, but unfortunately I didn't. But I know my coaches are gonna like this because I've been like screaming his head off. That was a pro fight. I was allowed to throw elbows. In my biased opinion, I think it was finished.
Well, my man, I did hear you say that in your post fight interview, and we will get into those elbows and when those elbows might be able to jump into your game plan in the future. But before we get to that point and what's going to be going on after, Cage Titan 61, how did you get into martial arts? Where did you get your start? And were you, did you have martial arts growing up? Let's get to all that.
It's a wild story. I never thought I'd be here, to be honest with you. I grew up as a football player, life from third grade up until high school, and I had a couple of D3 offers. Mount Ida, Curry. My grades weren't that good, so before even going to those schools, I had to attend Bunker Hill just to get my GPA up. With that being said, first semester I was Bunker Hill, but BU had a club team. Mount Ida was like, "Yeah, go do that, and then come here second semester for spring ball." I'm like, "All right, cool." So as I'm going to school, getting ready for BU club team, I tore my knee. I was like, I can't play football anymore. So I thought, and I had to do something. So I started boxing, and I was just in out the gym. I did it mainly because I wanted to do something. I wanted to stay athletic, stay in shape. So I did that up until I was 22 till I was 27, just in and out the gym. I couldn't stay committed because I was in my own way, unfortunately. I was my own worst enemy for a long, long time. And after that, I go, you know what? I want to try something different. Let me do MMA. So I found Boston Combat Sports, 20 January 2020, and they said they had an MMA team, but you had to get invited, secret. So I was going there for like a month. I was like, "What's up with this MMA team?" And someone's like, "Yeah, they really don't have it. It's just a couple of jujitsu guys that just get together and do striking." I'm like, "This isn't for me." Great gym, but just not what I'm looking for.
Yep.
So one of them was like, "If you really want that good work, you go to Sit Your Tongue in Somerville." I went there March of 2020. Then all of a sudden, the world shut down. You know, and I just took it upon myself. What they taught me within those couple of weeks, I just did it on my own in my backyard from shut down until they started opening up a late August, early September. And I've been hitting it ever since. I haven't stopped. And I'm truly addicted to this.
Now, when you actually after COVID and you actually, got to training consistently in there, who were the like some of the big fighters that because there's a lot of fighters that had left in there that time and I think going to UFC or other organizations. Who was in that camp actually as the big names and some of the bigger guys in the region that you were around at that time?
Well, when I first joined, Peter Barrett just won the contender series and he was getting ready for his UFC debut. And then that fell out because of COVID. So he was one of my main training partners. Or I guess I was just a punching bag at that point because I started off. And Jay Perrin was there at the time. Chip the Surgeon was there doing his Muay Thai thing. And yeah, those are the real big three names that was. And Sean Lally, of course, to come by. Like you said, to straighten
Yeah.
it out. But yeah, those are the big names that have been coming.
Then you had a ton of, the younger up and coming prospects and stuff like that. And at that point, you were just, coming up in there, getting your work. As far as, from the time you stepped into that gym, by the time you had your debut MMA fight, what was the time span in that?
I want to say a little over a year.
And a
A little,
little over a year, you would go against a wrestler, basically, in Jay
yeah,
Kasky.
and
I
with
mean,
only 30 classes of jujitsu.
yeah, like I mean, and you went in there, it was a grind of a fight. I mean, you gave Jake all he could handle. I mean, I think it was his debut also.
No,
Uh,
it was his second
oh,
fight.
was
His
this?
debut was against Dan
Oh,
Walsh,
that's
which
right.
I was
That's right.
actually there for that fight because I knew I was going to be in that cage one day, and I knew just I wanted to get the whole vibe.
Yep.
And who would have thought that I'm watching the kid, I'm going to end up fighting? And he's another one that I have a good connection with. Talk here and there
Yep.
on Instagram. Whenever he's fighting, I show him support, and likewise with myself. And it's just kind of surreal. Yeah, I was his second opponent.
Excellent, my man. Well, that's a lot to take. I mean, all you young guys going in there, it's a lot to take. You don't know what you're getting when you walk in there the first or second time, man. But I mean, you've been producing, man. You're a workhorse in there. You've been in danger and you've gotten out of it. You haven't been finished in them losses. You're always in it, always dangerous, man. So congratulations on the grind, dude. For the short time you've been in this, man. It's huge success for you, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Now, so I think I was right with this November coming will be a 2 year anniversary since you made your amateur debut.
Yes, sir.
Now you just had that fight the 23rd of September. You're 3-3 as an amateur. I think you're coming in your late 20s, a couple more years or so. Not even in your prime yet as an MMA fighter. You mentioned elbows. You mentioned finishing guys that if you got to use some of those tools that you'll allow as a pro, you'll have more success down the line. What's your timeline here? Cage Titans got a card in November. Are you looking to stay amateur, get another fight there, get on the rankings, and then you know what I mean? You've been looking for the rankings, bro. But
I have, yeah.
so not
I
to
saw three of the kids on there.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
gave them all a run for that money, so I'm like,
Not
but I respected it all. Like, I'll never like bash like, oh, I should be on there. It is what it is. It's an opinion, and it's just a little extra healthy motivation for me to prove to not only to you guys but to myself that I deserve that recognition. But to answer your question about what's my next move, I was gonna go on the next card for November. Unfortunately, what I do for my day job, work's starting to pick up, and took a week off for my fight week. I'm trying to get that money back. I'm taking some OT, but I'll still be training, still doing like supplementary stuff, but not enough for a fight camp, especially because like I'm doing like professional weight cut. The fact that I did it last time, smooth, healthy. I know once I do go pro, I'll be a legit 135 because this was a 140. I came in at 138. And I could have, if you saw the pictures of me weighing, I was still healthy. I could have cut those last 2 pounds if they. I felt great, but yeah. So November 11th, I unfortunately won't be able to make that. But as far as my pro debut, I'm just gonna have to keep working and whenever my coach thinks it's time because I'm 29. My birthday is November 5th. I want to get the ground running whenever he lets me off the leash.
Well, my friend, you're going to be helping a lot of training partners, I would imagine, get ready for fights. If not November, other cards are around in November, so I'm sure you're going to be used and utilized in that gym, bro. So you're not going to get no rest as
No.
far as that. But man, congratulations on the job. Also, you mentioned that you work for the labor's union, correct?
Yes,
Massachusetts,
sir. Local
Boston.
22.
My son, he works for the labor union in Providence, Rhode Island. The
Nice.
Sabatoni's there, and so he's set, man. I know you got a great job there, and that helps, man. When you're a struggling fighter on the way up, you don't have to count on sponsors and teaching lessons and all that other stuff. Even though I'm sure you don't mind that stuff if it comes around for some extra money. But you seem like you're in great hands, my man, and you got good things coming. I mean, you just won $1,000.
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna end up spending on everybody because to be honest with you, I sound like a douche, but money's not really not like an issue, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't look at it as like, oh, I need to. I like to give back whatever it's, money, my time, knowledge, because I feel like as human beings, that's what we help each other. So, like you said earlier about helping out my teammates, yeah, I'm definitely be getting everyone ready to when they have their fights coming up.
Excellent, man. A couple of more questions. As far as like who, helped you this last training camp. You said you had your, I guess you said your first professional weight cut. Who's helping you along in this training camp? Because there's loads of people everywhere. Who's giving you the best work? Gyms, cross training, all that other stuff was going on.
Well, as far as like the weight cuts, like when I did my first ever one, my debut, Peter Barrett wrote me out a whole sheet on like macros about how many calories I need to take, how many carbs, all that great stuff. And throughout my fight career, I've kind of fixed a little things here and there, and kind of perfected it as far as like what I do for a day job. So I do a lot of intermittent fasting, so that helps. But that final weight cut, my teammate Jacob Calendar, he actually fought last July. He won as well. He helped me with that weight cut. It was smooth. I put layers on, greased up, went for like a 20-minute walk, hit pads a little bit, hit the sauna, and just it came right off. Because once I'm dialed in, walk around like mid low 60s when I'm training like every day. So that cut really, especially the water loading. I feel like that's a huge thing. But yeah, I don't want to say I did it by myself. I did it by a little.
Well, dude, you were learning to be a fighter by yourself during COVID there, man. So you're resilient and you're ambitious and you have drive, man. So you're getting it done. As far as your corners, who helps you in that? Like, who's your? I know Andy, but is there, who else is in there at times? You probably got revolving doors, correct? As far as a second or third person in there.
Well, as far as this last one, my teammate Neil, he helped me with the grapple. I don't have a grappling coach. Like I go to a grappling gym, but unfortunately, every time I fight, they're not available. So I always have to supplement with someone else. So it's always been mainly Andy, just giving me just total MMA, corner advice. But this last one, he gave me the strike and just like the mental, like just to stay in the fight. And Neil was there for like grappling situations. And then, yeah, that's really it. But this next one, you can be assured I'm going to have a grappling coach.
Excellent, my
I don't
man.
want to say who because I want to make it a surprise when
All
I
right.
walk out.
Excellent, my man. Well, a lot of surprises coming out. All right. So all right, another one. Like, here we go. Like, it's seven more questions, my man. Fought all Cage Titans events. Six events there. Are you looking to fight with Cage Titans again? You mentioned that pro debut. Is that where you want to be when that next step is taken?
Yes, sir. I love Cage Titans. It feels like home. Mike Polvea has been nothing but good to me. Their media team. It's really because of their media team that I won that contest, and I've never even fought for combat. The fact that I won it off them, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I would love to make my pro since I made my amateur debut there, and they groomed a lot of fighters to go to the next level. Not to say that I wouldn't, take a fight somewhere else
Yeah.
if if it was a good offer, good matchup, all that made sense. But as far as what I can see the near future, Cage Titans is where I'm going to be.
Excellent, my man. Well, last question before I let you give you a shout out social media, other than your Instagram that I got up here, and thank yous, all that other stuff. 2024 is coming, my man. You mentioned you got to talk to those coaches and see what's next for you. But what do we expect to see out of the Bambino in 2024 in that MMA cage?
Just expect to see the growth continue. Every fight from my first one, last one, you saw the evolution. I turned from a striker to a grappler, and now I'm gonna start really mixing all those in, and hopefully 2024 we'll be able to start throwing these.
Excellent, my man. Great interview, bro. Wonderful time actually talking to you. Like I said in the beginning, we conversated all through this about rankings, stuff behind the scenes. We've always stayed connected, and I always said we'd get this word in, bro. I've just been waiting for your time, my man. I've been waiting for your time.
Thank you. It's an honor, truly.
And you're there, man. With the last thing, my man, before I linger this on and on. Social media, thank yous, any sponsors, anything you want to say before I let you go, and we'll talk, man. I'll see you at the next Cage Titans at least, if just with some training partners and all that. So let it go, my man.
First off, I want to say thank you to my family because without them, I wouldn't be able to live the life that I live. I want to thank my gym, Sit Your Tong, my head coach, Andy Cote, crew, Mark Delagrati, and all the wonderful training partners there, and everyone out of the gym supported me on the journey as well. I love you guys. Thank you so much. And it's just only the beginning. As far as sponsors, I don't have any, but if you're interested, I'm your man.
Reel him in, my man. Reel him in, my man. 2024 is going to be big for you, bro. Glad to see it, man. We'll definitely talk at Cage Titans.
Yes, sir.
If something brews up, or the coaches start talking to you or something, or you get that itch right after seeing some fights. But with that said,
Oh, I
Phil.
always have the itch. I always have the itch.
Hey,
It's
Phil,
whether
man.
I have the time and availability to do the whole fight camps because I need an actual fight camp to really cut the weight and get down into the shape that I need to be formed the way that I need to.
Definitely, man. You've been busy, man. You deserve some time off and sharpening things up and, just enjoying it from the outside a little bit. But with that said, man, we'll definitely get a talk in a month or so. And thanks again for coming on the show, man. Glad, we hooked up. And congratulations on the win here, man, in the last couple of weeks.
Thank you so much.
We out.